Okay, not everyone. From this talk, if you listen to me, you can code for free. Yeah. Talk to that guy. I'm here with my colleagues, the curator, Herb Tam, very cool guy. I'm going to give you one in Hong Kong, left Hong Kong at 1, settled in San Francisco, up there. Yue Ma, she's the head of our 研究中心, the collections. So we have 85,000 items in the collection. We brought some for you to look at. Yue Ma is amazing. She's a marathon runner, unbelievable. She'll run faster than your cars.
That's a challenge.
Is everything. He's a director of programs, and he has an amazing background, and he's the best dressed.
Sorry.
And this is Harvey Nutt, and he's in our works with Yue Ma. He's the one that made sure we got here and didn't yell at me for being a bad driver. So we're so grateful to Wilson. Yeah. And Esther. Yeah. And I'm just met Helen and Joy and everybody else. But thank you so much for having MOCA. We're going to join you. But I want to tell you a story. I want to tell you that who's of Chinese ancestry here? Of the car club. Oh, most of the car club. I know some are from Malaysia.
I'm the only one from Malaysia.
You're the only one from Malaysia. Okay. So the Museum of Chinese America in New York is about you. And it's about you and you and you and you, everyone in this room. It's about why you came to the US. A lot of people come to the museum and they think it's about like Chinese calligraphy or Chinese vase, like a Ming Chinese vase or something. But it's about US history because you are all here in America and the story is why did you come here? Why did your parents suggest you come here? Any international students? Okay, so before COVID, there were 300,000 international students from China. You probably know that. But our job is to write down why. Our job is to say that you formed this car club, right? Because you wanted friendship and association, and you like to join this and support Wilson, right? And then you like to eat hot pot. Like,
right.
That is what our job is to tell your story because we see you. Unfortunately, in America, sometimes we are invisible. So the Museum of Chinese in America is going to reopen in 2025. We're now about 20,000 square feet. So we're probably a little bit bigger than this space in the current New York City. But we're going to be 10 times bigger in 2025. Okay? And any architect or maybe some engineers know Maya Lin. Maya Lin, L-I-N, and her aunt is Lin Hui-Yin, very famous architect. Maya Lin is one of the most famous architects in America. She designed the Vietnam War Memorial in DC. She's designing the new MOCA. She is an incredible design. So if you came from KL, Kuala Lumpur, but your family originally then came from Penang, but your ancestors came from Fuzhou, right? When you come visit the museum, you might be able to look into the village when your grandparents came to see what it looked like. So Herb is helping orchestrate the technology. We're working on so much content. So we have a place for you to tell your story, but also for us to share your story. This is going to help 3 things, and then I'll stop talking. 1, it will help fight against the problems we have today around anti-AAPI. So when they look at me, even though I speak fluent English, I was born and raised in Flushing, some people still think I'm a foreigner. Not just some of you who might think, oh, maybe I'm just a recent, international student, that's why they think I'm a foreigner. No, I've lived for 50 years in America as a foreigner, a perpetual foreigner. Because there's something in America that does not connect, the synapse does not allow me to be American enough. Because American looks a certain way, talks a certain way, eats a certain way, dresses a certain way, celebrates a certain way. So when we do the lion dance, they think, oh, that's so foreign and oriental and Chinese. No, it's American culture. It's what we brought to America. Yeah, you like our food, but you need to understand this all, right? So education, that's one. Two, we have resources, right? It's not taught in our classrooms. So we have a lot of different items here you can look at. Just take your time. You can look at it. Don't just talk to each other. Then I'm going to quiz you. Then you can take a look at this stuff. And then you can sort of see why during the railroad, Chinese people, mostly from southern China, helped build the railroad. 100,000 pounds of remains, people who had died, 100,000 pounds went back to China after the railroad was built. But no one knows this. The sacrifice. But maybe you're thinking, oh, I'm Shanghainese, my parents are quite wealthy, whatever. But what I'm suggesting is your life here today has a lot to do with the earlier immigrants who came. So I'm suggesting to everyone in this room two things. One, you have an ancestral heritage, Fuzhou, Penang, KL, Shanghai, but you also have a Chinese American heritage and an Asian American heritage. And that's the people from Khoisan. They're the people from Guangzhou. They're the people from Beijing who help build the identity here. And we can make it better and full. This might all sound crazy to all of you, but I promise you that if you begin to understand how important history and education is, your life in America, even if you go back and forth, even if you like Vancouver, Marion County, or Shanghai, or Hong Kong, it will be better. And that's why we do what we do. So I'll just quickly go back here and show you some items, and then you can take a look on your own. The collection at MOCA that Ed and Harvey and all of us worked on, we had a huge fire, January 23rd, 2020, 85,000 items jeopardized. 5 are on fire in Chinatown, New York. This is our destiny. Everything pretty much came out of the fire. So you know the phrase, Phoenix comes from the ashes, or I don't know, some kind of method. We realized we have to continue this work. So we brought you some items to get you inspired and encouraged. I'll just point out one. This abacus, everyone knows what this is. This was the first abacus used in a Chinese restaurant in Boston. You guys have more to that you want to talk about what year? 1876. This is the first Chinese restaurant in Boston, and this is what they used to have. And then so many other things. This is, we have the actual newspaper. This is the first Chinese American newspaper in America. The date is 1883. And you'll see it's quite interesting. It is called Chinese American. And some of you, anyone from Beida? This is the plans from the architect that worked with the University map of the original. And they also did a couple of others like Yao and a couple of other plans. So this is very interesting. It has the US in there. And other things that you can take a look at. Very interesting. And then here, please feel free to take it. Did anyone notice when we started? Yes. Okay, do you remember the gates in Chinatown? And they had two flags. Which flag? Right, so Republic of China and the US. And I saw a couple of PRC flags on the right left. Did you find that to be strange? It is, right? But why the ROC flag is there? Because the immigrants who came and settled in Boston came before 1949. No PRC. And it's strange because you think in Chinatown, mostly people speak Cantonese dialect. But why do they have the ROC flag? It's not obvious, right? Was it not obvious to all of you? It's a little strange, right? Maybe you thought, oh, maybe they were more active there. No, Cantonese because the immigrants came before 1949. They came after the Qing dynasty fell. And they enslaved. And in some ways, we're still waiting for the ROC to go back to the country. And so in some ways it's so interesting. So you're not the only the mayor of New York City, and these officials goes to China unexplainable, but it's our job to make it here. So this is something we created for Chinatown, New York. So when you visit the museum, we made a map of Chinatown, and we tell you what's really interesting about Chinatown. And we tell you the history. Why are there a Malaysian flag? Why is there ROC flag? Why is there a PRC flag? What is going on? All the layers of immigration patterns. Because first we're in southern China, and then after China closed, right? But then what happened? Maybe Joe's family went to Malaysia, and they wait, right? But the U.S. closed to Chinese until 1965. But 1965, China still closed. Then Taiwan and Hong Kong. Taiwan people don't speak Cantonese. They go to Flushing. They go to all these other neighborhoods. But the Hong Kong kids, they go to Chinatown. Gang war. All kinds of tension. Because you know Chinese and then the new one. And then what happens? 1979, 50 years ago, Shanghai Communique. You see Beijing, you see Shanghai. In 1980s, you see people from Fujian. Right? And then you see all groups of people. So it's very interesting. So everyone wants to make us one type, one person, one idea. We're the most diverse group in this room of any group in America. Right here, most diverse group. Political, economic, social, religion, faith, everything is so different. We all have nice cars. And then I'll just say we have a lot of exhibits up on that. And they're all packaged, whoever does the best job, they can go to tour anywhere. My place, maybe they're interested in something. Take a look. And then we want to share everything we do because it doesn't pay to we're in New York City. And then this is the last thing I'll say. Think about one hero, American hero, who looks like Asian actor. Can you name one? I'm putting you on the spot. Can you name one hero, American hero, that looks Asian? Okay.
Bruce Lee.
Okay, Bruce Lee, Simu Liu, right? Jeremy Lin, right? Now there's whole Olympic debate. We won't go there.
Nathan Chan.
You know, Eileen, I don't know.
Yes, Eileen.
But we realize young people don't know anybody. When I ask them, they come in, they don't know an answer. So we started a series called MOCA Heroes. So Chinese Americans who are American heroes, everybody should know their name, not just us. Yong Wing, is anyone from home? The first Chinese student to graduate from a U.S. university, graduated from Yale in 1854, started a trend for educational exchange. Very important person. This is Maya Lin, I told you about, the architect. And then we also have the Chinese railroad. We should all know about it. And all of these things on our website is free. And it's targeted to 4th, 5th, and 6th grade.
Oh, perfect for me.
And we also have Jeremy Yang coming, we have Jeremy Lin, we have Gary Locke, a lot of people everywhere. So anyway, my question to you for dinner is, who is your hero? Give us some ideas. Also, think about yourself and the importance of your story for us, because we want to make sure you have the fullest, best life, and that your children's children will know about your history in America. So that's all I have to say. Yeah.